Y'all, this is my second time recording this video because the first time my head was literally cut off. Like this part of my face was just showing. It was trying this one more time. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name's Eva, and today's video we are going to be doing a recap on the November budget. So for a quick reference so everybody can remember what the budget was, this was the budget that originally was created, and I will now be going over what actually happened for this month. So the income that I predicted that was going to come in was $3,457.29. And what actually ended up coming in was $3,856.84. So ended up getting about around $400 extra than I anticipated. So that was really great. I'm adding a new little section that wasn't on the budget for November, which is extra income. And that category, I earned $196.88. Now the extra income I'm going to start doing for future budgets, that's for little things that happen throughout the week, like if I do some little job and someone pays me to go do it, or if I just little random cash that is not from payroll. Basically, any extra cash that I get that isn't from payroll will go there, or any money left over from a previous month's budget is gonna go there. But for this month, actually, the first week of November, I won at the casino, like around $300. Out of the $300, I used 67 of those dollars to end up buying a vacuum and some trash bags. So I ended up putting it in that extra income so it wouldn't take out of the payroll income that I had brought in from the job. And then I got another $50 from my cousin's uncle who needed me to drop her off at his house. So he had given me that. Another income source, I think from the October month, I had some money left over before I had gotten paid. So that was rolled over into this category. And I got like $5 from Chime. I don't know. I did something. I completed some type of checklist for them and they gave me $5. So that was another thing that I got. And I think that's all the extra income that I had earned in that category. So that's what totaled the $196.88. So let's get into the expenses and what happened. So the first expense was rent. Rent was expected to be $398.51. I ended up actually paying $784.72. And the reason being was the way that my paycheck fell for that month, I needed to pay it twice because by the time December 1st rolled by, I wasn't going to be able to pay it because I wouldn't have gotten paid I didn't get paid until today, the day I'm recording, which is December 10th. I didn't get paid until the 10th. So that's what happened there with the rent. So the next expense is car insurance. For car insurance, the expected cost was $117.86. Now I did talk about that it was the renewal period, and I was debating whether I should pay the 6 months or not. I ended up not having the funds to do it, so I just ended up doing monthly payments. So that cost was the $117. I ended up actually paying, or quote unquote paying, $225.69. So I paid the minimum monthly, and then I used what the 6 months total rate was, divided it by 6, and basically what I'm going to start doing is put it aside in a high yield saving account, so that when the next 6 months roll by, which is I think either April or May, when they roll by, I would have the money and I could just do that from there on. It says I save about $20. I probably will save a lot more because it's in a high yield savings account. But yeah, that was the game plan. That's what the plan is for that. Yes, it's gonna take away from funds towards debt, but I'm just have to push through for these few months, and then I'll have another $100 available to me. But for right now, yes, it is taking a chunk out of money that I could use towards debt. For the next thing was gas, and for gas, I have that listed as expected at $30.64. I went way over budget with this, which I did think I was. I think I mentioned in the November budget that I was probably gonna go over. Ended up paying $115.75. So this included driving back and forth from work, driving back and forth to the casino. It also included driving to my cousin's school to go drop off some clothes for her. Also included driving my cousin to my house so that she can stay here before we drove her to her uncle's place. So there was a lot of driving. There was a lot of driving this month. So yeah, I'm expecting the same thing for December. So I'm gonna budget adequately this time now that I kind of know. So next thing is food. So for food, I expected to pay $150, which I did stay on budget until I went to go pick my cousin up, which I ended up paying $68.93 for food. So I went about $10 over, $18 over budget. It's just fine to me. I think it's pretty okay. I went $18 over budget. But yeah, we had stopped at a fast food restaurant. She was hungry. I was hungry. So we stopped at fast food to go get some food. So I did go over budget when it came to food. As for the water, the next thing was my water bill. Now, this, y'all are gonna kick me in the, so I expected to pay $20. I expected to pay $22. I ended up paying $0. And the reason being is I somehow threw away my bill that had the account number. And the thing is, well, I know y'all gonna say, oh, the email. Well, it seems like they have copied the wrong email, because when I haven't received an email from them since I've moved in. Number two is when I even tried to do the recovery email, like to the address, it seemed it was like non-existent, or the account didn't exist under this email. So I think they wrote down the wrong email. That's why I haven't received an email from them. So I'm just gonna have to wait until a December bill comes to pay for last month's and this month's thing, which I've accounted for in the December budget. But yeah, we that did happen. The next bill was the electric bill. For the electric bill, I expected to pay $150. I ended up paying a whopping $399.76. Now, the reason that was so high was, again, I was behind on payments. So this one wasn't even, I had to pay it twice this month. I was just behind on payments. And so now I'm finally caught up. That caught me all the way up. And yeah, so that was the total cost of that. Internet bill just stayed the same, the $22.50. Nothing crazy would happen. It was just as expected. Same thing with my phone bill. It was at $25 and I paid $25. Nothing crazy. My gym membership, again, nothing crazy. Same thing, $25.40. Ended up paying that $25.40. The next thing was my storage unit. So the storage unit cost was expected to be around $100. Ended up paying $210. And again, that one had to do with the paycheck and how it fell. So I had to pay it twice that month, in November. So that was that situation. My next bill was a Capital One credit card. My minimum monthly payment that I was expecting to pay was $25. I ended up paying $26. I had been behind on payments, so this $26 was to catch me up. I'm finally caught up, and the minimum payments have returned back to its normal $25, so I should be expecting that to stay normal. The next expense is my Chase credit card, which the minimum payment is $40. I ended up actually paying $238.71. So this was a little bit of late payments. Also, I had to pay it twice, so I was very behind on payments. So the first bill that actually came through, it was around $198, and then when the next payment came, or the next due date came, it was going to be, I wouldn't have had my check by then, so I had to pay it then. So I paid it twice that month. But it is back to normal. The minimum monthly is back to $40, so I shouldn't expect any differences with that, or I shouldn't have to account for anything with that. Now, for laundry, I expected to pay $10, ended up paying $20, being that my cousin did come over to the house, so I did do some laundry, make sure her room was clean, do some little cleaning. I basically went to the laundromat and washed all her sheets and stuff before she came. So, yeah, that was what happened with that. So, from here on out, there's going to be a bunch of categories that I hadn't accounted for. These are some extra expenses that had came along the way, so none of these were on the original budget that I'm going to start talking about. The first thing is student loans. Of course, since it wasn't on the original budget, the expected payment was $0. Now, the situation with that was it is still in forbearance. So it's in forbearance until the 18th of November, and then I have to start making payments, quote unquote, but the payments don't really start until I don't actually have to make a payment until December 18th of 2026. So I did notice that because I'm calculating my net worth every day, I am noticing that it is the balance is going up. So because of that, I decided to do $1 per day on this smallest loan, just so I can start knocking some of it out. It's not gonna do much, but I don't want to throw all the money into the student loans, but I just don't want the student loan. It's not doing much. I shouldn't even throw any money at it. Just let it collect, because there's other bigger expenses that are going on in this scenario. But for the month of November, I ended up paying 31. Is that 30? There's 30 days. How many of the days is either I paid 30 or 31? How many of the days that is in November? I think it's 30 days. So I ended up paying $30 worth of money towards the small student loan, which it dropped the thing, but again, it's risen back up. So it was like it didn't do anything, but whatever. So household items. So again, the expected value was $0. Didn't have an original budget. I ended up paying $137.72 in this category. What I had bought, again, like I said, the vacuum, the trash bags, and I ended up buying a heated blanket. So those are the things in that budget that totaled out to be that $137.72. So those are the 3 things I have purchased. The next category I have that I added was Halloween costume, and this was for work. Again, expected cost was $0. Ended up paying $30.30. If I have the Halloween costume, I will insert it, but I ended up dressing up as Harley Quinn. It was very fun to see everybody dressed up in their costumes, so that was fun. work dinner. That's what it is. Okay. So for work dinner, again, I wasn't expecting to cook for this, but I did end up cooking. So the expected value was $0. Ended up paying $137.11 to get all the ingredients to cook the food. It was, to me, it wasn't a bad deal because I have so much left over. Like, I have so much stew still in my freezer. I cooked fufu and the vegetable stew with it. So I have so much stew still in my freezer. I just have it frozen in the freezer, and literally I just go out, and I haven't had to buy food. Last time I bought food was in November. Maybe November 15th was the last time I bought food. So that's how long it's been lasting. It's currently December. I still haven't repurchased any type of food because I have so much food left over. Because I did my home grocery for the house, and I also did that bulk cooking for work. So, and I had leftovers, so it was great. I'm probably not gonna buy anything until I don't even know, because I can really the only thing I really need to repurchase is like drinks. Continue, and I think that yeah. So that concludes everything that was extra in payments. For sports betting, it's at $0. I broke even. I didn't win anything and I didn't lose anything. In the gambling category, though, I am in profit of $342.78. So with all of the expenses, I ended up having a remainder of $1,799.41 for the end of the month. So I had discussed 4 goals at the end of my budget in November. Those four goals were being, for one, to save up $1,000 in a high yield savings account for basically my starter emergency fund. The next thing that I had was to fix my car. I had a few problems with it, so that was another thing to do. My next goal was to pay off a collection with Primo that I had. And then my last goal was to clear out DMV fees that I had on my car currently. So we ended up doing 3 out of the 4 goals. So I ended up saving $1,000. So after saving $1,000, I have $799.41 left over. So that was number 1. My next thing was the car. So to buy all the tools and the parts ended up being $501. And if y'all want to see a video of me repairing the car, I could show y'all. Try to show y'all. I don't know. It's really cold outside, so I'm literally like going in. Like, I'll go outside for a few minutes, do one step, and then come back in, warm up, then go outside, and then come back in. I just can't do the cold. The cold is, can't do it. So after doing that, that leaves me with around $298 and some odd cents, and 41 cents actually. So then the next thing I did was pay off the debt. My debt was with the Primo, which ended up costing me $148.86. And if you have collections, ask them what the charges are with the collection. Like, ask them to give you an itemized list of what the charges are. Don't go out paying for something that because let me tell you something. When I had heard first of all, they said it was like $250 when they originally called me in October. They hadn't contacted me since then. And I was like, that's super high for collections. Like, what are you talking about? Like, $250? Why would you keep charging me for something like that? You know, why would y'all let the bill run that high before y'all put in collections or before y'all canceled or call me? Like, I didn't receive a phone call. I didn't receive an email from them. I didn't receive anything. Like, nothing, nada, just zip zilch. And I didn't even know it went into collections. I thought it was like, it's like a Hulu membership. You stop paying, they cancel your service. Not that they're going to keep charging you, then charge you late fees and then put it in collections. I did not know that. As I read, I guess I didn't read the whole terms and conditions. But anyway, let me tell you, they told me it was $250. I had asked them for the itemized list. They were telling me about late fees and past due payment and this, that, and this, and the third. I was like, what are you talking about? Like, it's like after it was maybe 3 months of late payments. So it cost $50 a month. And then the late fee was $30 every time it was late. So it ended up being $240. They had kept charging me every single month, and I wasn't receiving the product. So I was like, why would you keep charging me and I'm not receiving the product? I understand you're charging me and I'm receiving the product. I said, I understand charging me and I'm actually receiving the product, but to charge me and I'm not even receiving the product, that's actually criminally insane. Like, what are y'all doing? So I basically told them that. I said, I'm not paying for something that y'all kept choosing to charge me and y'all never delivered the water. It's one thing, y'all delivered the water to my house. I used your product and hadn't paid the monthly, so you're now charging me a late fee. I understand that. I didn't pay, y'all didn't deliver. That should have been the end of it. Charge me that one late fee. After that, I haven't paid. You cancel the service. So, and they dropped it down. It ended up being that $148.86 that I'm talking to you about, which is probably a little higher. It's only a little higher because I have a lot of their water bottles still, and I still have to return their machine. They said so. Really, the bill is $400 and something, which. I'm happy I waited. The long story short, I'm happy I waited. It's actually at $400, but I'm going to end up returning their water machine because it's cheaper to buy one at Walmart, and the Walmart I'm at actually has a Primo machine where I can refill the water bottles I have. And since I've already paid for them because they added it to the charge of my final debt collection payment, I'm going to keep them. So after all of that is said and done, my rollover for this month is $149.55. So that was November. I did pretty good for November. I'm pretty proud of myself. I'm loving that I'm seeing the debt value going down, the debt value is going down. And then my net worth value is going up. Like, I think this has been the highest it's been in a while. Like, and this was just 1 month. In 1 month time, I'm already seeing the debt value and my net worth slowly and it's continuously increasing, which I absolutely love. So, thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, comment, like, and subscribe. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.